Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're doing something a little bit different. I've got an old propane tank here that I found laying in the weeds. And I'm gonna make a wood stove out of it because why not, right? So I've already made sure there was nothing in this tank. I took the valve out and it's completely empty. No propane left, so it's perfectly safe. Nah, I'll thread in later. I don't need that actually. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a door in the side of this, a little rectangular door with a hinge and a latch and all that. And that'll be where I put the wood in from. And then on the top, I'm gonna put a steel grate over the top of this, fill this in so the heat can only go up and not out. And then I'm gonna cut this out with the plasma cutter. And then I should have a nice little stove top there. And on the side, I'm gonna make a little air intake. So I'm gonna cut 4 lines in the side of it, probably about that wide. And then that'll make it so I can have a door that slides down over top to limit the amount of airflow coming into it, almost like a barbecue grill. So I'll get to working on this thing and I'll catch you guys up in a sec. All right, so I got the tank here. I got the plasma cutter all ready to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a hole in the top of this and then put a grate over the top of it. Okay, so I got my hole cut in the top. Now I'm gonna make a cut in the side, like I said, to put that door. I'm using an angle grinder for it because I can see what I'm doing then. This is a little jagged for my liking, but it'll have a grate over it, and I'm gonna close this in so you won't really see it that much. So I'll put you guys back on the stand and I'll get working. All right, so to catch you guys up, I went ahead and made a little tape square here, or rectangle, whatever, just so I can have a guide when I'm cutting, and that way my cuts are nice and straight, because I don't want a jagged looking door like I did with the top. So all right. All right, so a little update. So I got everything cut out. I left this connected though for the time being because I'm gonna weld a hinge on here first, and I want everything to stay all aligned. And then I'll finish cutting the rest of them out, and then I'll have a working door. And then I'll make some sort of latch on this side so I can swing open. Okay, so I got the back side of the hinge welded on. Now I'm gonna go with a paint marker. I guess I should be careful if it's hot, and mark where the holes are. And then as I go, I'm gonna bend the hinge down so I can keep welding it, and it'll be nice and flush with this. All right, so I got this ground down just to get all the rust off it, and I got that ground down so I can weld to it. And then once I get this welded on, I can finish cutting out the rest of these, like there, and then, yeah, like there. And then I should have a door, but as you can see in a little bit, I'm gonna weld these two. Then I'm gonna try to hammer this down a little more so it's a little bit flatter with the door. And then I'll do the same for this once I weld that one. All right, guys, so I got a working door now. I gotta clean up some of these burrs off of here and make a latch for it. See, it fits in there nice. And make a latch for it. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for a latch, and then I'll get it made and welded up. All right, so off camera, I got this made. There's just a little piece of metal just to weld in between here, because the way I'm figuring, which might not be right, but I'm thinking the heat's gonna rise up, and then the smoke's gonna go out here. If I have like a, something cooking on here, maybe I'll cook an egg, I don't know. We'll see in the end of the video, hint, hint. But I'm thinking the heat's gonna go up here to whatever I'm cooking, or if I'm warming my hands up or whatever, and the smoke will come out here. So I'm gonna get the welder going, weld this piece of steel in here, and then well, you'll see. Alright guys, so I ended up just making a handle instead of a latch, because I just think that looks a whole lot better than a latch would, but I don't know, I might add one later on. There might be a couple things I add later on, but I'm gonna go ahead and weld this up, and I'll put you guys back on the stand. Okay guys, so the handle's on there. I would have liked the welds to turn out just a little bit prettier, but they're definitely gonna hold. It's just kind of hard welding real thick metal to thin. Plus my welder's only rated for 1/4 inch, and that's way bigger than 1/4 inch. That, I mean. So it's on there. Of course I just touched it and burned myself off camera, but that's me. So, all right. Okay guys, so what I have here, I don't have it welded yet. I got this steel grate. Now this is gonna be my cooktop, or just if I want a grate on the top so I can, for safety, whatever. So I want it to be removable in case I ever want to put larger wood in there so I can have it hang out the top. So I have this little ring here. It's like a half ring. I don't have enough steel, but I'm gonna weld this on here, and then that can be able to sit on top of that and be removed at any time. So I'll get to welding it. All right guys, so everything's built on it now. So I got a handle. Yes, I really have to oil that hinge, but handle's on there, the door works. I have the grill top, which I'm not gonna grill anything directly on this because I don't know what's been on that grate, so I'm gonna use a pan or a pot or whatever. So I can take that on and off just like that. me actually get it in the camera like that. So now the only thing really left to do, now the only thing left to do is get it painted, prep it, and paint it, because it's a little dirty. Alright guys, so I got it painted. I'm sorry I didn't video it, but my paint can was giving me a lot of trouble. So it's painted. It looks pretty nice, I think. High heat black. I painted the inside of the door. I didn't paint the inside of that because it's just gonna burn off. But I'm gonna try to light a little fire in this thing now. Alright guys, so the fire's lit. It's working. It's more of a smoker at this point than it is a wood stove, but I mean, hey, there's a fire. And if I want to smother the fire and put it out, which I won't do right now because it's actually starting to take off, but all I gotta do is shut the door and it goes out. So I think that's a success on the video. All right, I'm putting the new stove to the test. I got my pot of coffee brewing on it, so we're gonna see how this goes. Let's see. Oh, it's about ready to boil. Okay. All right, coffee's boiling. I think test number 1 is almost successful. It's getting a good boil. You'll like test number 2, I promise. Okay, so the coffee's done. Now on to part 2. Okay, test number 2. Can it cook an egg? It made coffee. Got the skillet on here. Let's see. It's not exactly level, but it'll work. Okay, so it cooked an egg. It doesn't look the greatest, but hey, it's still an egg and I'm gonna eat it, so. Breakfast is served, courtesy of the propane tank stove.